What's up, everybody? Rob here, back with another episode of Wasting Wildcards here on Malta 5. This week, I decided to kind of stay in line with the Pioneer videos that JD just did, and I am playing a mono blue devotion deck, but this time in Standard. So in Standard, we haven't really seen too many devotion decks really take hold. If you saw my previous video, I played a mono black devotion deck that seemed pretty close to being a competitive deck, but it just lacked a little bit of oomph, if you know what I'm saying. And this time I am playing mono blue devotion, which weirdly I think may be kind of the best ramp of all of the devotion decks. So let's get into it here. We got Nyx Lotus as our main mana generator / payoff for devotion. Being able to just tap this for an obscene amount of mana then lets us cast all of our X spells for just an enormous amount of, I almost said money, an enormous amount of mana. So the X spells, Thassa's Intervention, and very versatile card. Basically, it can be anywhere from like a amazing dig through time to just a really good counter spell. It's just very versatile. It comes in handy. It's something you always kind of want to have. Just real good. Then we got Gadwick. Basically, you run out of cards, draw a lot more cards. And then once you start playing almost every other card in this deck, you can tap down your opponent's battlefield and then start swinging for the win. We've also got a 1-of Mass Manipulation, which is very good against Simic ramp decks, control decks that play a lot of Planeswalkers. I mean, it's not a bad card at all. It's very good. It's not great against low-to-the-ground red decks that can beat you before you can cast it. But yeah, I mean, you go off with a Mass Manipulation. It feels pretty good. I think that is it for the X spells, but then we've got cards like Thassa's Oracle, which has a great devotion payoff where you can essentially scry just a ton. And even in rare occasions, if your devotion's crazy and it's a long game, you can even just win by casting Thassa's Oracle. We've got 4 Brazen Borrowers because this is a blue deck in Standard, and Brazen Borrower adds 2 pips to the devotion. It's also just one of the most versatile and good cards in the color. We've got a couple Sinister Sabotages here, just a mono blue counter spell, kind of just a catch-all, helps you smooth your draws out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you're playing blue, you just need some counters. We've got a 1-of Thassa. Doesn't do a ton of crazy blink stuff in this deck, but there are still some good synergies, other than the fact that it is just a good creature once the devotion's going. It can tap stuff to let you win, but the blink effect is pretty good with things like Thassa's Oracle, Cavalier of Gales, and especially Agent of Treachery. I'm sure most people are familiar with the nonsense you can get up to with that combination. But yeah, that's kind of why it's here. And then we've got the 3 Jaces, which is here because it adds 3 pips. It lets you draw cards. It's just a pretty all-around good Planeswalker. And weirdly, if stuff gets wild and it's a very long game, again, the static ability can come into play, and you can actually win by casting a massive Gadwick, followed by another massive Gadwick or something like that. Cavalier of Gales, just a very solid attacker, a solid way to draw cards. It's just overall good, and in this deck, it is very good. And then I already mentioned Agent of Treachery, just late game, cast it, steal your opponent's best thing. That's it. Mana base, we've got our 4 castles, because why not? We're playing 17 islands. I've got a 1-of Mystic Sanctuary, because again, we're playing a bunch of islands. I have 1 Blast Zone, just kind of as a way to deal with problematic permanents that blue doesn't really have a way of dealing with, and 1 Mobilized District. I'm playing a fair amount of legendary creatures in here, so sometimes it is cheaper, and just with the amount of blue sources I have in my deck, I figure just 1 more utility land probably couldn't hurt. So the sideboard is pretty straightforward for a mono blue deck. We've got the 3 Aether Gusts here to kind of deal with red and green stuff. We've got the 3 Cerulean Drakes to keep us alive against red. A Spyglass, just a very good utility artifact, deals with planeswalkers, witches' ovens, stuff of that sort. We've got 3 Mystical Disputes, again, just one of the most busted cards in the color. 1 Ugin the Ineffable. So this is here because I found I just need a colorless source of card advantage or removal. If people play like a Shifting Ceratops, my deck really has no way of dealing with it. So having an Ugin, again, just good card advantage, a good answer for things that I can't otherwise deal with. Stonecoil Serpent, another kind of way to keep myself alive against aggressive decks, or mostly Shifting Ceratops. That card is very good against us. And if we can get a big Stone Coil Serpent out that can just block and keep us alive, it's very good. Also, these things are huge and has a bunch of other random use cases. That's good. And then 2 more Mass Manipulation, again, against Super Friends decks, against Control, Ramp. There is just a slew of decks that are a little slower and let us actually get up to the mana needed to cast this and steal all of their stuff. And it just feels so good when you steal people's stuff. So, all right, let's do this. Let's play some games. All right, so here we are with game 1 with Mono Blue Devotion in Standard, and I've won the die roll, so we are definitely going to play first. This hand is, I think it's a little too top heavy. We do have like a 2 and a 3, but only having 2 lands, and then you don't ever want to play Gadwick on turn 3. So I'm going to mulligan this one. And this is a lot better. We can put the Mass Manipulation on the bottom because that's going to take a very long time to cast. But then we've got turn 1 Opt, turn 2 Oracle. So we're going to very much smooth out our draws and probably hit our land drops and hopefully be able to cast a Jace, draw into maybe a Nyx Lotus and start going bonkers. So I'm going to keep 6, put this on the bottom. Play an island and pass to my opponent. Temple of Plenty. So I doubt we're playing against green-white tokens, so I assume we're going to be playing against some kind of Bant deck. So put that on the bottom. Really just want to start hitting our land drops here. Okay, so we'll Thassa's Oracle here, scry 2, put the island on top. So this is pretty good. We can go Nyx Lotus on turn 4, hopefully, followed by Jace, and then we'll have a lot of mana to start doing some wonky stuff. And look at that. I was correct. We were playing against Bant. So we're going to pass turn. We can hold up Intervention for 2. I say 2 because it's double X, not just X, which is pretty rad. So here we could Intervention for 1 and just try to make sure we hit our land drop. Because missing our land drops could be very painful in this matchup. I think I'm going to do that. Nope. All right. And there we go. All right. And yeah, it's a bummer. At least we can counter this Uro. And an island on top. There we go. We will resolve the Nyx Lotus and bash in for 1. Next turn, we can play a Jace. And we'll have a lot of mana. Our opponent not playing anything too powerful right now. Teferi, gonna bounce our Nyx Lotus. Quite annoying. Or our Oracle. Okay. I guess that keeps the Teferi alive for 1 more turn. Okay, so we're definitely gonna go Jace. I'm going to minus on ourselves. I don't want our opponent to basically fuel their Uro. I want to keep that thing in the graveyard as long as I can. We have 4 mana here. So let's play our Thassa's Oracle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So we have guaranteed 5 mana, potentially 10. We have a Gadwick in hand. I think we'll take the Cavalier of Gales here. We're going to need a way to close out the game, and Cavalier of Gales is kind of our fastest way of doing that. Our opponent still needs to fuel their graveyard. Elspeth, there goes Jace. I'm not even mad, though, because I can just play another Jace. All right, so we're going to play another Jace. Auto-tapper kind of screwing me here. Probably should have thought this through. Mobilized District could have killed the Teferi. That's why, even though you think it's doing you a favor, it's not. All right, so we keep hitting our land drops, which is very, very good for us. So we can Gadwick for 4 here. I'm going to start by attacking with Thassa's Oracle, potentially draw out something. So I can make 7 mana. So it's Gadwick for 4. Don't have a quench. Don't have a quench. Woo-wee. All right. So we're doing a very good job at keeping up with my opponent here. With Gadwick online, we're going to be able to start tapping down any permanents they have. Uro is probably going to come out next turn because of this Elspeth Conquers Death. But I feel like we're still in an okay spot. All right, so I've got 36 cards in my library. I'm going to keep milling myself here. Let's start by going Cavalier of Gales, tapping the Hydroid Crisis. Again, with the Mobilized District, come on, auto tapper. Let's just put 2 lands back on top. Ooh, this is spicy. So I could steal their Elspeth Conquers Death, but I'm not going to get anything good out of it. So let's just start by going kill Teferi. Do I want to kill Teferi? They can just bring it back next turn. Uro's a little easier to deal with. All right, let's think here. Should I steal Teferi? Maybe I just steal Teferi. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to steal Teferi. Let's go. Can I think I could Cavalier. Oh, let's just Agent of Treachery here. Tap this because why not? Steal Teferi. Plus Teferi. We still can cast a Cavalier. Jeez. Tap that again. Put some islands on top. There we go. And we will end our turn there. We can now successfully block 7/7 Hydroid Crisis. Their Uro. It's going to get them some value here, but not too afraid about that. Creatures are actually very easy to deal with right now. If they have no way to deal with our creatures, we can actually attack for lethal next turn. Oh, I forgot about that. That's annoying. But I have so many good things on the battlefield right now that I'm not even worried about it. That's fine. You can exile your own Teferi. Play another one. Yeah, at this point, like, everything they bounce is good for us. The Nyx Lotus is the worst, but I mean, I have so much mana right now, it doesn't even matter. All right, so let's go. What do we have in our graveyard? That Mystic Sanctuary might be fun to get back. Just an intervention. Interventions are good. I guess I don't want to mill myself again. I probably should have thought this through. Probably should have done this in a different order. Do I just win? I think I probably just win here. So let's just Oracle. Tap the Crisis. Look at half of my deck. put this on top. Mill my opponent, because sure. Draw my Agent of Treachery. Cast Agent of Treachery. Steal Teferi. So once I have Teferi, there's no way I can lose. Because they cannot cast an instant or sorcery. Or they can cast a sorcery. They can't cast an instant. Oh, man, I got so much mana here. Might as well intervention while I'm at it. For 5, sure. Let's go. Just tap this down. I'm just being a jerk right now to my opponent. Let's put Thassa in my hand. Let's play Thassa. Let's tap this again. Let's just win. Wow, that was quite silly, if I do say so myself. All right, so against Bant, Mass Manipulation or Mystical Dispute, good. Sorcerer Spyglass against just Teferi, I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe some Mass Manipulations. This has protection from most of their creatures and spells. That actually might not be a bad thing to put in there. So definitely want this. Man, my deck seemed commanding. So tiny. Nah, don't need that. Let's go down like 2 Sabotages maybe because we got the disputes. Let's go down 1 Lotus because they can be bounced in its legendary. And maybe you don't want 3 manipulations. Let's try this. All right, so this is not a great hand. Basically, can't cast anything except maybe a Mystical Dispute, so we're definitely going to mulligan this. And this is not great. Very slow. Luckily, Bant is a little dirtily, so I probably won't get run over. Man, these Mirage lands are so pretty. So we're going to put one of these Ions down here. Drawing an Opt or a Thassa's Oracle be the best thing right now. Being able to just kind of clean up my draws here would be pretty clutch. Mystical Dispute, not bad. We can counter, like, Teferi, a Growth Spiral. So our opponent was probably holding up one of their own. After you, good friend. Try to draw out their counterspell. So our opponent can pay for our Mystical Dispute. So I'm going to let that resolve. We still have our mana up for Brazen Borrower and our own Mystical Dispute. And now we are going double dispute. So here we can try to resolve our Nyx Lotus. Mystical Dispute won't be 1 mana for this, so if they try to counter it, we can then counter it ourselves. Oh, Dovin's Veto. Spicy. Well, that's nothing I can do about that one. Okay, well, we're continuously drawing counter spells out of our opponent's hand. Nothing too terrible here for us. All right, so they sideboard into a control deck. Interesting. Just going to keep passing here. 2 can play at this game. Unfortunately, the longer the game goes, the worse this card gets. Uro. I mean, I can make them use all their mana, which I'm going to do. Okay, so now We're a lot safer against counters on our turn. Hopefully we can Gadwick for a couple here. And they don't hit their land drop, so I'm actually going to slap down a Borrower, start beating down. Gadwick for 2. Get a land, hopefully. Sweet. And start bashing in. All right. So that was a nice little turn for us there. Got to catch up. Opponent can't bring back Uro quite yet. Shatter the Sky, huh? All right. All right. Touche, touche. 5/7. I'm going to Nyx Lotus here. Teferi. Going to try to counter this. Make them use all their mana. They're going to bounce our Nyx Lotus. And I'm going to steal their Teferi. Hello, friend. You're mine now. Man, Agent of Treachery is a silly card. And there goes Agent of Treachery. Or no, probably Teferi, yeah. I wonder if an Ashiok would be a good sideboard card now. I could bounce this right before it does anything. That would be fun. Should I even bother Nyx Lotusing here? Should I try to Gadwick for 4? Yeah. I don't have counter, so why even try? And what do we have in our graveyard? I guess getting more counter spells is never going to hurt. So I'm going to steal their Elspeth. Conquers Death. That's my plan. They're not going to be able to get their Uro back. I mean, most likely they could just cast Uro this turn, and then we could steal Uro. There's a lot of good stuff. Nothing like hard casting Agent of Treachery. Nissa, pretty good, pretty good. Got a good amount of mana here. Narset. Okay, Narset is annoying for us. Makes my Gadwicks bad. It's a damn shame you can't cast that. All right, so we will play our land for turn. So now we have a bunch of annoying decisions to make. We have 9 mana. This costs way too much now. So basically, I just need to steal something. It's the only real smart thing to do. Nissa could get out of control. Getting Uro back would be annoying. So if we steal Elspeth Conquers Death, we're not going to get anything good back. They're just going to get their Uro back. So that's not that bad. Narset is annoying, but can be dealt with. I think I'm just going to steal Nissa. Tap their Forest, which I can't tap. And then kill Narset here. And I will then have Petty Theft and Dispute mana left over. So we're still in a pretty good spot here. Hopefully they don't have a sweeper. Come on, no sweeper. Okay, okay. Not really. Oh, they do have the sweeper. Okay, let's see what they got here. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. Oh, I hate how that's only opponent controls. I would love to bounce my Agent of Treachery here. I guess we dispute, make them use up their mana. Okay, cool. We got a counterspell out of their hand. So we can just bounce everything on their battlefield next turn. Ooh, baby. Mass manipulation. Saving that for next turn. All right, so we are going to return Narset to their hand. Play a Jace. Mill. Then let's mill our opponent. And bounce Spyglass. Untap a land. And attack. All right. Goodbye, Nissa, I assume. Goodbye, Jace. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so they know about my mass manipulation. That's no fun. 5, I got 7 mana still. Let's do this for like X equals 3? 2. Because then I can still cast something. And we can get our Nyx Lotus out now, I guess. So they really only have Uro as a good target in their graveyard for Elspeth again. Teferi, consistently annoying. Nissa, okay. Huh. Can I just steal everything from them? Let's do some math here. I could blast zone their Sorcerer Spyglass pretty soon. Okay, so I have 5, 8, 10 mana. For 10 mana, this is 6. X could be equal 2. I could steal both their Planeswalkers. Seems good. I don't know what our opponent was thinking there. So this is just going to go right back to their graveyard, which they could then cast from their graveyard. Get a lot of value. This seems like a weirdly good matchup for us. We're doing work against one of the better decks in the format. Tameo, huh? Elspeth Conquers Death is definitely the biggest like roadblock for us. Three, four. Probably should have played Blast Zone there. Started getting counters on it for sure. That was a dumb thing from me. Let's go Thassa. And Brazen Borrower here. So we can cast Intervention for 6. So X would be 4. So they'd have to pay 8 mana. So, all right. We're in a pretty okay spot here. Well, don't need to bounce that. We're not going to get any benefit from it. Ooh, Eidolon's Veto. It's kind of the only really annoying thing for them. So they got 4. So double X. Again, I'm just really trying to get any and all counter spells out of it. Ooh, they let that resolve. Interesting. Do they have a second one? Surprisingly, we still have a lot of cards in our hands here. Okay, they do not find the Shadow of the Sky. Awesome. I wonder if I could start milling my opponent out. All right, so they're casting Arrow from their graveyard here. Oh, Lord. Oh, dear Lord. Let me just make sure they cannot counter this. They have just a white mana up. So I want to steal 1, 2, 3 things. One, two, three. Auto pay. GG's, my friend. Let's plus to vary. Choose a non-land card name. Reveal the top 4 cards in my library. What do I want? Let's try to get like an Oracle win. Thassa's Oracle. That was easy. So my devotion is 8. Got 26. Let's save that for later. Let's just start just attacking. Yeah, I don't want to go too crazy here. All right, so let's see what this does. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target creature card you control and return that card to the battlefield under your control. So I could do that to Uro, but I didn't escape it, and it would just die. So let's go. Let's play Cavalier of Gales here. Resolve. Put an opt back. And a Thassa's Oracle, because that's all I can do. And why not? Let's play Thassa's Oracle. We want a Gadwick here, because we want to go for some silly win. And blink the Cavalier. Comes back. We'll put this and this back, because I don't have any mana left. Play the counter spell. Shadow the Sky? No. Okay. They're going to dig real hard right now. Did they just whiff? Yes, they did. So they have the mana, I believe, to double Uro this turn. And that'll leave them tapped out and most likely dead. Man, I freaking love this deck. Yeah, you got it. $23. Okay, yeah, they saw the writing on the wall. So wow, mono blue devotion in standard, big blue ramp, whatever you want to call it, doing some crazy stuff against Bant ramp or Bant good stuff. Yeah, that's like a legit tier 1.5 deck we just kind of made look silly. There's definitely something to mono blue devotion. There's definitely some weaknesses. Mono red is definitely a tough one. Mono white life gain can get pretty out of hand. But Agent of Treachery, mass manipulation, just man, that was a really fun game. I'm glad I got to record that one. So this has been Mono Blue Devotion in Standard. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any adjustments you want to make, any recommendations, anything else you'd like to see us make on the channel, please let us know. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and thank you for watching.